Hello and welcome back. I wanted to talk to you today about what I see as the importance of religion in your spiritual growth, because a lot of what I have said in my previous talks may be taken as saying pretty much that religion is not necessary. I understand that there is a great aversion towards religion among some people, and as part of the clergy, I'd ask that you give me a few minutes to speak to you about this importance, remembering that even as clergymen we are human and we have our faults. They shouldn't do what they do sometimes, but sometimes problems do arise. However, the vast majority, I would say, of clergy and of religious people are certainly people who try to do good in the world. They may fail sometimes, but I do believe that the very, very large majority, mean well. There are three areas I'd like to talk to you about concerning how religion can help your spiritual growth. Firstly, it would be assisting you to move forward. And by this I mean, if you consider any undertaking that you may decide to embark upon, to learn anything new or to develop a skill further, we usually refer to people who are already in that field, because by doing so we can avoid a lot of the pitfalls that inexperience may put in your way and may take a long time to get around, whereas a bit of good advice and a bit of help from people who have been there can help you to avoid those difficulties. And this is true of religion. For one thing, for example, we wouldn't have the Bible without religion. There's also the fact that religion has, over these centuries, developed a huge amount of experience. And so in the writings that you'll find via religious sources and so on, there's great learning, there's great stuff to be gained, great advances to help you. And so obviously in this way, approaching religion in this manner would be of use to you. There's also the fact that you may say, but that means, a weekly commitment, for example, of going on Sunday to church, and you may or may not like the pastor that you find there. And that's true. The fact is, if you consider, though, that in the week, even if you're in church for an hour, that's a very small percentage of the number of hours there are in the week. And so it would be very much 1%, and that isn't a lot to give to any endeavor. The other fact is that, just say you have a pastor who you don't click with and whose sermons you don't always agree with. I think you would find, if you sit down seriously and consider what's been said and what they've said again, you can find great growth there. I know, for example, I have during the week to do research and to read over texts and things to help me develop a sermon for the weekend. And quite often, if I read something that I don't agree with, and I sit and I meditate on that, I can achieve much more growth than something that I agree with and say, oh yes, that's right, and simply pass over. And so even if you find that some of the things that your pastor says you don't agree with, it can be great grounds for beginning a period of meditation, a time when you can sit and think about it and actually develop your own belief and find out exactly what it is that you do believe in that context. The second facet would be humility. Because you see, I can start growing towards God and I can be very proud of myself with the progress I'm making. But also my field can be very limited. One of the great advantages I find, for example, to my Catholic tradition, is that our Sunday readings, well, all of our readings, in fact, during the week as well, but concentrating for the moment on Sunday readings, are chosen by the church and not by the pastor. And so the fact is that often in preparing a sermon on the Sunday reading, you're confronted with a reading that you may find difficult, that may not speak to you immediately. And so it takes that much more work, that much more sincere work, but makes you look at an area that otherwise you may simply leave to one side because you don't find it easy to deal with and you don't find it easy to understand and come to any great conclusion about. And the same is true for all people. If you allow input, as I say, on a Sunday or whenever you do spend time gaining input from your religion, that comes to you from outside and is not chosen by you, it gives you that much more scope for looking at areas that otherwise, as I say, you would dismiss because they're too complicated for you or it's something that you'd prefer not to think about. The third area that I believe is important is one of the main points of spiritual growth is to increase the amount of love we have for other people. We know that God, through Jesus, calls us to love one another. And this can be a very good starting place if you go and you meet like-minded people who themselves are trying to live this life of love. As I say, Christians are not perfect. There's a lovely saying, Christians aren't perfect, but they are forgiven. In fact, everyone is forgiven if they want forgiveness. But the fact is that there are people who are trying. And so in that attempt, you find that you're in the midst of people who are on the same path as you are. And this can be of great assistance to you. And you can assist others greatly in their growth by bringing your love and your growth and your honesty to the relationship with them and to the time that you spend with them. And so I ask that you consider seriously getting help as you grow along your path from outside, whether it be in the form of regular religious practice, whether it be a spiritual counselor, whether it be some form of outside help, but something that is independent of you and so makes you go to places that you yourself may not choose. And in this way, you'll have a much more all-round growth, and I'm sure you'll find it greatly rewarding. And may God bless you.